and welcome to Junk Journal Inspirations. My name is Emily. So I'm here today to share with you how I made the little Ephemera Folio that is part of my 5,000 subscriber giveaway. If you have not already, that giveaway will end on this coming Wednesday, which is the 18th of August. So if you haven't, please head over to those videos, which should be the 5 right before this one, and make sure that you get entered. All right, so this is the little folio that I created as one of the giveaway prizes, and I had a few people ask if I would do sort of a tutorial on how I put it together. So that's what I'm going to do today. So let me just take this off and show you in case you haven't seen. So it is basically just sort of a that's more than a trifold, isn't it? It's like a quadruple fold little folio, and I've stuffed it with some vintage goodies. And I used the Wallflower paper pad by Tim Holtz. And yeah, so that's what it looks like. And I'm gonna leave this kind of here in case I need to reference it, because I kind of made it up as I went along, and I've sort of reverse engineered it so that I can show you how I made it. So this is what you're gonna need. It doesn't have to be the paper pad that I'm using. You can use any paper pad you want, or any, paper that you like. I suggest a thicker kind of cardstock. It'll just hold up better. And I did sew on mine, and I'm gonna sew today, but you don't have to. You don't have to have a sewing machine. You can just use glue. It's totally fine. And I'm gonna do it a little differently actually, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so what I've done is I've taken pieces from the back of the paper pad. So you've got all your 12 by 12 pieces, and then there's some 6 by 6 pieces, and then there are 3 by 4 and whatever this is. Good question, right? 3 by 3 little squares. So that's what I have done. But if you are using a paper pad that doesn't have those sheets available, you can just cut it down. So you'll need 4 6 by 6 pieces, okay, and then I have 2 of the 3 by 4 and 1 of the 2 by 2, and we're gonna actually cut this in half diagonally, so I'll show you what I mean by that. And then I have a piece of sari silk for my closure, but you can use anything that you like, anything that you have on hand. This is actually great for scraps. So if you have larger scraps that you can use, as the big pieces, and, smaller scraps, that's great. And obviously, my dimensions can probably be altered, so you can kind of play with it as you want to, but I'm just gonna show you what I did. I also have some vintage photo distress ink. I have my Barely art glue. I have a corner and notch punch that I will use. You can use any corner punch you want. If you don't have this particular punch, I will link it in the description box below, along with all the other items that I'm using. But you don't have to have this. You can use whatever you normally use to make a little thumb hole. And then I have 2 border punches that I'm going to use just for decoration. You don't have to have those, or you can use ones that you do have. And then I have some Stays-On ink and a stamp that I'm just going to use on one of the pieces that I'm going to stuff it with. And then I have a pile over here of a bunch of vintage and not vintage, mostly vintage goodies, a couple tags. So we'll get to that later. All right. I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do to make the actual, folio first. So I have my little mini scoreboard here so I can show you what I did. Basically, I have made it 4 by 6. So I've taken 2 inches of each, of 3 of them, and scored it to make little tuck spots. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me just double check myself. One of the pieces I'm actually going to cut down because it's going to be this piece that creates the pocket. All right, so I have to decide which one I want to be on the, like sort of the front cover. Maybe we'll use this guy. So I need it to fold this way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and score this at 2 inches. I've actually not used this yet, so I'm not sure how this, oh, okay, it like slides. All right, I think that'll work. So I'm gonna score right at 2 inches. Okay, and then that will be my cover, okay? So let me show you on the actual piece. So this will be here, okay? And then we need the next one, which is this one. And it doesn't really matter, but I do need to score it over here so that it bends properly. I think let's do this one. Okay, so I'm gonna come in and score at the 4-inch mark, or you could flip it over and, do it the other way, but at 2 inches. Oh no, well, I pushed a little bit hard there, but I think it'll be, nope, hold on a second. I'm gonna go grab another piece because I wrecked that one. Okay, I was gonna get a whole nother piece and start over, but I remembered I need a 4-inch piece anyway, so I'll just cut that in a second. So let's try this again. Let's do this one, and I'm gonna not press so hard. Maybe I'll use this end. That other one is just a tad sharp, so let's see if we can, yeah, that's better. Okay. So I hope you're all having a good day. All right, so this one will be this piece here, okay? So basically what we're gonna do is this, all right? And then we need another piece that is, doesn't matter a whole lot. I am gonna do it this way, so the back is showing, but I need it to fold this way, and that fold is gonna just be inside this pocket. So it's, just sort of gonna be there to help kind of hold everything together. So yeah, I'm gonna actually score it here, okay, on the 2-inch mark. If you aren't aware, when you're scoring, it actually does matter which side is facing up when you are scoring. You want to score in such a way that the bumpy part is inside your fold, okay? So you don't want to fold on the valley, you want to fold on the bump. It gives you that's how you get a good straight crisp fold if you do it that way. Okay, and then this is the piece that I just need to trim down to 4 inches. So I am done with my little scoreboard. So I'll set that aside, and I have my trimmer here. I'm just gonna do it kind of backwards, but so you can see what I'm doing. So I need this to be 4 inches. Just like that, okay? And then this piece you can just save for next time, for another project. All right, now let's look at what we have and start kind of putting it together. And basically, let me think here, this was gonna go like this, okay? And then, oh, I actually need, Okay, I did, see, I told you I had to reverse engineer this. So I actually did, I made the pocket with two 4-inch pieces. So I do need to get another piece after all. So I'll be right back. So, do you ever have one of those days where just nothing goes right? So that was yesterday for me. I actually filmed this entire video and I was ready to go and edit it and realized that it only, like, I don't know, because it was filming, but it only saved 15 minutes of about an hour plus of footage that I needed to edit. So, I will apologize in advance because there's going to be, I probably will repeat myself. I hopefully won't forget anything or skip any parts. But the paper is going to look different because I had to start over. So you've already watched how I scored. I think I went back through and watched, but now I'm second guessing myself. So I'm going to kind of do a quick just overview in case you know, in the loss of footage, I've missed something, but yeah, so let's just look at what you need, and then, you know, oh, this is crazy. All right, so you need three sheets of 6x6 paper scored at either 2 inches for 2 of them or at 4 inches for the third one. Okay, and then you need 2 pieces of 4x6. That's going to be the pocket in the last page, and then you need 2 3x4 piees. This is going to be a pocket. This we'll do something with in a second, and then you need a 3x3 piece that we're going to cut on the diagonal. I don't think I've done that yet. So I did go ahead and ink everything, and I rounded my corners on everything. So that's done. But I need to go ahead, let's see, we'll go ahead and cut this. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was, you know, and it's one of those things because I've been struggling with videos and, you know, just sort of like lack of confidence kind of stuff. And this, you know, what I filmed yesterday was perfect. I was so happy with it, and it all went really well, and I was excited, and then bam, you know, I have to start over. So I hope, oh yeah, I hope that this works as well as the first time. Okay, so what I did there is I just lined up the corners with my, you know, where it's going to cut. This cutter is perfect for that because it has the wire that shows you where the blade's going to go. But yeah, I just cut corner to corner, okay? And that leaves us with 2 pocket shapes. So this one, yeah, I'm going to flip over, and then this one will go this way. I think that's how I was doing it. This might have to go this way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I've rounded those corners, but I'm going to go ahead and use one of my edge punches just to kind of decorate it a little bit. And I'm pretty sure I haven't done this yet. So when I use an edge punch, I always start in the center of the piece that I'm punching. That way you at least get one full design, or, you know, whatever. So I just kind of eyeball it. Usually there's some sort of markings, you know, that you can use to kind of find the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then, so then we have, you know, we have the center complete. And then you just want to line it up with, you know, the markings that they give you. Let me see, make sure I'm lined up properly. There we go. And then it'll take the rest there. So let's go ahead and do that again. So I hope you're having a good day. Yeah. It's raining today, so I'm sure that the lighting changed and everything in between these 2 sections. Because I did, you know, I kept the footage I had. It was rainy yesterday too, so it might not be a whole whole lot different, but oh, I hate when things like that happen. Technology is great until it doesn't work, and then what, right? That's sort of how I felt yesterday. I was like, and now what? You know, if it isn't one thing, it's another. Sometimes it feels that way, but that's okay. I just get to make another one of these. So they are fun to make, and you know, they use up your scraps. Okay, so I'll ink those, but I don't need to do that while you're watching. And then this piece is going to be this little pocket here. So I'm going to use this edge punch, and I think I'm going to do it this way. Yeah. All right. So this one has guidelines up here. So I don't know if you can see them or not, but that makes it even easier to kind of find the center. Oh, that one's difficult. So there's what we have so far. And then we will line this up here. So I had a fun day. Yes. Oh, I guess I filmed Sunday. So I don't even know what day it is. So the first part of this was filmed on Sunday. Yesterday, I had a fun day with my mom. We went and we got pedicures. We've started doing that kind of as like a monthly little thing, you know, just a fun girl time. So we did that yesterday, and then just hung out at her house, and we did some fussy cutting. She loves to do that. I love it too, but as you know, my hands don't always, so she's a big help with that. All right, this is too tall, so I want to take off all but a ½ inch of this bottom part. So how I do that is I will line up the bottom of the die cut part with the ½ inch line on my trimmer. And again, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but there. So that's sort of, that is, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. All right. Now, I will round these corners. Here. Okay. And I will go ahead and, oh, I know what I need to do. So this is going to be my pocket at the back, and I want to cut a notch in here. So I think I showed this in the beginning. This is a really cool notch punch, but you don't need this. I think I already said, but I don't remember. I will link it in the description box below, along with all the other things I've used, just in case you want to check it out. But you know, it's not necessary. You can use just a circle punch and make a thumb hole, or if you have the envelope punch board, it does the exact same thing. So I'm punching them both at the same time, so that they're equal, but you know, because I probably didn't get it very centered, but it's close enough. So I need to ink those parts that I cut, and oops, wrong side. And then I will go ahead and just ink these few pieces that I need to do, and then I'll come back. All right, so I have everything inked. Now we can look at construction. So I am going to sew mine. You don't have to sew. If you're not sewing, you don't really have to worry too much about what I'm going to do right now, because this is sort of me trying to determine how I want to place these, you know, in order to know where I want to sew, if that makes sense. So I'm going to sort of roughly just sort of put these together. So I want this to be my cover, and then the next piece is going to attach on this flap. Okay, and then the last piece will attach to this flap. Now these flaps are going to be this one here and this one here are going to be like side tucks. So I need, or I want to sew just along here by itself on these two. Just, I just like the way that looks. So I'll do that before I put anything together. And then I want to look and see if there's anything else that needs to be sewn separately. And I think I will sew across the top here and the top here. Okay. And then I think the only other thing will be along this edge of this corner tuck. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I will come back and show you what I have, and we'll start to put it together, and then yeah, we'll be done. I'm so confused right now. I feel like because I've already done it, and so then I'm like, did I already say this? But no, I know I haven't. So all right, so let me go sew this and I will be right back. All right, so I have sewn on the edges that won't get captured when I sew around the whole thing, and I have sewn across the top of my pocket pieces and around the edge of my little corner tuck. Now we can put it together, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my Barely Art glue. And since I'm gonna sew, basically I'll sew around the whole thing, and then a couple other places, then, you know, everything will be sewn together. But if you're not sewing, just go ahead and glue everything really well, and then that'll be fine too. So, all right, this is my front cover, okay? And this piece is gonna go here. So, when I sew, I need to also sew down this edge here, so it'll close up that pocket for me. I'm gonna flip this over. Actually, I'm not gonna flip it over. I'm gonna just put glue on the top and the bottom. This is just for me to hold it in place until I can get it to the sewing machine. But if you're just gluing, then you'll want to add glue along this edge as well. And then we'll just, you want to make sure that you don't go over top of your score line. So what I usually do is I just sort of eyeball it, and then I fold it up and make sure that everything is lining up well, and then I'll press it down for good. All right, so that'll hold enough just to get to the sewing machine. And then this flap is gonna go here. So now I'm gonna flip it over because it's just easier for me this way to add the glue to the top and the bottom. But again, if you're not sewing, you'll wanna add glue along that long edge as well. Totally up to you whether you want to sew or not. All right, and then again, just don't go over top of your score line, and can make sure everything lines up, and then I will press that down. Okay, make sure I don't have excess glue anywhere. All right, so that's what we have so far. So I'll need to run stitch down here to close up this pocket, because right now it's just all open. And then I'll also need to run a stitch down here to close up this side. Okay, now we'll put on our other pieces. Let's go ahead and put on the pocket. Now, this is, if I just glue this on here, you're gonna see that edge. So I'm just gonna cut this down, you know, probably, I don't know, probably down to 1 inch or 1/2 inch. Let me get my trimmer. So we'll just put that on. Is 1 inch good? Let's just make sure. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm just putting my score line here on the inch mark. I'm just taking off that extra. And then I'm also going to just cut this at a diagonal on the top and the bottom. It's called mitering. That's what I call it anyway. It just, you know, takes that off so you don't have to worry if you don't line it up exactly perfect. You won't see any of that. Okay, so we don't want to glue the whole flap. I mean, we could to one side, I guess. Let's go ahead and do it that way. So this is the front of my pocket. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this whole flap to the inside of my front pocket piece. All right, that way it'll be out of the way. I have done it where I don't glue the whole thing, and it's fine too, but you know, we'll just go ahead and glue the whole thing. All right, and I will sew down down the side of the pocket here, you know, just to make it look like the rest of it. All right, so there is the front side of our pocket. Now for the back side, which is this piece, I only want to glue, you know, just the edge. So let's go ahead and do that. Now you want to make sure that everything is lined up. So how I do that is I try to hold the glue side away and I line up the other side and then press down on the glue. All right, so that should be fine. And then when I sew, I'll sew here, and then it'll get captured, the rest of it will get captured when I'm sewing around the entire thing. But I just want to, you know, I don't want to sew up here once it's put together, otherwise you won't have a pocket. So just keep that in mind. All right, now our little pockets, I'm going to go ahead and put those on so that they get caught in the sewing. Now let's see, this edge, and that's okay. This edge won't have any sewing on it, but that's fine. So I'll just make sure that I do enough glue on this piece that I'm not going to be sewing, and then it just, you know, enough, some on the bottom too, just to hold it until I sew. So that piece goes here. We are on the inside, just for reference. It doesn't matter where you put your pockets, but this is my front cover. If you want to, just so you know where I'm putting things, just make sure that you can still fold it. It's important. And then this piece goes here on the inside of the front cover. So I'm going to glue on the non-sewn piece sides here. Okay. Just lining that up right with the edges. Like that. All right, and then, sorry, this, our little pocket goes down at the bottom of the pocket page. So let's see, I will be sewing down here, so that'll capture that. And then, okay, I'm just gonna put some glue around the sides and the bottom. Okay, and as you can see, it's just, I must have cut just a tad longer. So I can, let's see, grab my scissors here and just trim that. Go, and I'll re-ink that where I cut so we can't tell. All right, that's that. And then we flip it over, and this little guy goes here. Yes, right? Just trying to remember. Let's see, so there's that side. Oh, well, I did it a little differently, but that's fine. Okay, it's gonna go here, like this. All right. Well, I think, oh, see, I had it on this side, but then it's gonna be like weird. Okay, well, when you're making yours, just be sure that you pay attention to the orientation of, I don't know, I'm just gonna put it here. Never mind. But you do wanna just pay attention to the orientation of your paper when you're cutting your little square. That way, you know it's gonna look the way you want it to when you put it on there. Okay, no big deal. All right, so we are done with the glue. Now, if you are not sewing, you can just skip ahead. Well, I mean, you don't really have to, because I'm gonna cut this out, so never mind. I'm gonna go sew, and then I'll be back and I will show you the end product. All right, so I've sewn around the whole thing. I've sewn up all the edges, all the places that, you know, I needed to tack down. So it is essentially finished. I'll show you in a second, the one that I finished. But yeah, it's essentially finished. You could decorate it if you want to. You can obviously, you know, stuff it full of ephemera, or send it as Happy Mail. That would be fabulous. Just put some fun goodies in there and then send it off, even, you know, as like a random act of kindness, or, you know, just to a friend, pen pal. All right, I'm just cutting off all the sewing threads. Okay, so it is essentially finished, just as is, right? And what I did for the ones that I have completely finished, I have just used some sari silk as a closure, and this one I have gone ahead and well, I did it in the video, but you didn't get to see that. I filled it up with a bunch of goodies here, okay? And then you can just fold it up and tie it with some sari silk, and you're good to go. All right, so if you have made it to the end of this crazy convoluted tutorial, I want to say thank you. Thank you for putting up with my technical issues. I do apologize, but you know, sometimes it's just nothing to be done for it. But if you've watched all the way, I have decided to add this one here that I made the other day as like a super secret extra bonus giveaway for my 5,000 subscriber giveaway celebration. So if you've made it this far, congratulations, you can now enter to win this. So what will happen is when I do the drawing tomorrow, the drawings, after I've done the five prizes that I showed last week, I will go ahead and use the comments from this video to draw for this as kind of a bonus. However, if you want to be entered, you have to know the secret word. It's actually 2 words, and I'll give that to you in a second. And you'll need to use those secret words in your comment on this video, and try to keep it sort of secret. Don't give it away, because it's a secret giveaway, and you have to watch to the end to know how to enter. So make sure you're a subscriber and like this video. That always is appreciated. And then you'll need to leave a comment here on this video and use the words Tim Holtz, and I'll flash it up on the screen. Make sure you spell it correctly, because the YouTube random comment picker will only choose comments to draw from that use the words I type in. And so I'm going to type in Tim Holtz. So just make sure that your device doesn't autocorrect it to something else, because then you wouldn't be entered, and there's no way for me to necessarily know that. Yeah, so good luck, everyone. I hope that that's a good end to this crazy video, and I do appreciate all of you so much. I cannot wait for tomorrow to do all these giveaways. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. I just love giving stuff to people. So it's probably more exciting for me than it is for you guys, but I can't wait. So make sure, if you have not already, make sure you get entered into that, kind of mega 5 prize giveaway. And if you, I will link the first video at the end here. It'll pop up on the screen somewhere, and you can go and watch that if you haven't already, and it'll give you the instructions on how to enter. All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous day. I hope it's sunnier wherever you are, and just have fun today, guys. Do something that you love, whether that be crafting or a favorite TV show. Do something you love today. It's important, right, to take care of ourselves. That's my little public service announcement for the day. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow for the exciting giveaway. Yeah, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.